Remember, our theme verse all this week is Psalm 96:2. Each day tell someone that he saves. And we're sharing about how to write out and clarify your life message, the message God wants you to share through you to the world. Now, let me give you some practical suggestions. We've been talking about how to write out your testimony. So here's some things I would share with you. First, pray. Ask God to give you the right word. Remember, your testimony doesn't need to be 5 minutes long. You need to be able to share it in about a minute and a half. I'm talking about a 90-second testimony. You can have a short one, a medium, and a long one. But you really want to start with the short one, where you just share the 4 things we talked about the last couple days. But pray. Then write it out on paper, because God honors preparation. As you write it out, you go, oh, I want to say it differently. And by the way, you'll just keep editing it the rest of your life. Keep it short. Keep it to the point. Don't chase rabbits. Don't get into a lot of details like the sky was this kind of azure blue. No, it was green blue. No, just get to the point. Be succinct. Avoid, excessive, unnecessary details. Just try to keep your testimony below 3 minutes. That's real important. And then I would refer to experiences in your life that most people have in common. In other words, if you were a terrorist or a mass murderer, nobody else is going to relate to that. But if you had a problem in school, or you had a problem with your parents, or you have a problem in a marriage, or you've had a problem with your finances, everybody can relate to that. Share a slice of life, a story that they'll identify with. Now, this is really important. Be honest, okay? You need to be honest about your continuing struggles. Your life is not perfect. I know that, you know that, God knows that, and everybody else does too. So don't imply that all your problems ended at conversion, like, thank God, since I gave my life to Christ, life has just been a bed of roses and a bowl of cherries and nothing ever goes wrong. Well, nobody's going to believe that. You want to spend most of your time in your testimony on the 4th part, what it means to me now. A lot of people want to spend the most time on what it was like before I became a Christian. I call that a bragamony. And they're trying to convince you on how bad they were. No. Just emphasize the benefits that you received in knowing Christ, the peace, the power, the presence of God in your life, how it gave you security and stability, how it gave you meaning and purpose in life, how you were forgiven and you didn't feel guilty and shameful anymore. These kind of things. Mention the benefit of being certain of your destiny when you die. I'm not afraid to die. Why? Because I know Christ died for me. These are some of the tips. Tomorrow we'll give you some more tips on how to write out your testimony. God bless you.